Good morning. This morning we take an important shift between verses 1 through 10 that we've looked at for a number of days now and verse 11 of Romans 6. So Romans 6, 1 through 10 are giving us the reality of our position in Christ. They're in that way indicative, declarative statements of what is. Now, in verse 11, we shift to an imperative. What are we to do in light of the reality of what God has done? So here we go with verse 11. So, it's a way of saying in light of what's been said, so you also, and here's the imperative, must consider. Lagitsomai is the verb. To reckon sometimes, it's said as. The idea is to be counted in the sense of like an accounting thing, something being credited to an account. It's used that way in chapter 4, particularly in Romans. So you also must consider or count or reckon yourselves dead to sin and alive to God in Christ Jesus. Now, life is filled with a lot of times that you're going to fail, times you're going to sin, times you're going to be tempted to sin and to draw away from the Lord. This little imperative here in this verse is crucial because it is a starting point, that is a frame of mind. You are to have a kind of framework when it comes to happening to your ethical life that always lives out of the reality of what God has done for you in Christ. So verses 1 through 10 establish what he's done for you, that you are dead to sin, alive to God. You've been buried with Christ. You're raised to walk in newness of life, that this body of sin has been done away with, katargeod in that way that we saw. And now you have to start with a framework in your mind, in your heart, in your inner life that says, that is the reality. You reckon it to be so. And by reckoning it to be so, by laying it out in the books, by putting it in the ledger, by crediting it to your account, you say, now wait a minute. This is what I must operate from. I must operate as though I've been freed from sin. I must operate as though I have been given new life. I must operate as though the old man and old woman has been done away with. I must operate from that. So this is the first step in obedience because it is the bridge of gospel obedience. You're ready to walk across the planks of reckoning the gospel to, in fact, be the case as it relates to your ethical and spiritual life. So, consider yourselves, live like you're dead to sin, and instead, alive to God in Christ. May the Lord bless you.